Crosswind from right to left as Kaz Matsui takes strike one. We're underway.
The wind was initially blowing straight in as the Cubs took batting practice earlier today, but as you mentioned, kind of a crosswind now from right to left. Should knock down balls hit to right field and maybe give a little help to balls hit to left.
And it is an easterly wind at 8 miles an hour. 50 chilly degrees in the shade. It's a little warmer in the sun, obviously. Tapper foul by Matsui.
Rich Harden coming off a very tidy outing against the San Diego Padres. The Cubs won that game 6-2. Rich went 6 strong innings, gave up only 4 hits and a couple of runs. 5 strikeouts in the ball game. He did walk 1 batter, but as I mentioned, the strikeout total goes down. So does the pitch count. That's a good thing for Rich Harden to get deeper into the ball game.
He outdueled Jake Peavy that night. Gave up the first inning 2-run homer to Adrian Gonzalez and then nothing else. There's 6 innings of work as he fans Matsui to start it.
Good thing to keep Matsui off the bases. This Astros team will run. Got some good speed in the lineup with Matsui and Michael Bourne and Hunter Pence. Keep the fast guys off the bases.
And for the most part, Randy Wells and company did that yesterday. As Matsui went 0 for 5, Bourne 0 for 4. He did walk in the 9th. But they didn't do any damage early on. The Astros, in fact, had just 4 singles before the big 4-run 9th. 1 ball and 1 strike on Michael Bourne. Thanks to Randy Wells for joining us on the leadoff man, trying to convert all those Cardinal fans in his hometown of Belleville, Illinois, to Cub fans. He'll have a chance to do that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'm sure he's already getting texts and calls for tickets.
If he keeps putting zeros on the board, he'll have a lot of converts.
Two balls, 2 strikes. We don't know when or if Randy Wells is going to start again. Pretty good bet that he will. 2 starts, no runs. But Sean Marshall will go on Thursday. By the way, Sean got the win. He threw 3 pitches and retired 1 batter, but it was a huge out as he got Lance Berkman with the bases loaded on a 2-0 ground out to second. But Sean's going to start Thursday, and then Carlos Zambrano will come off the disabled list on Friday. As Fontenot fires across, just gets the speedy Michael Bourne. And then when Z comes back, the Cubs will have to make a decision. Marshall or Wells remaining in that rotation. So Carlos today in Dunedin, Florida, not too far from Lou Pinella's off-season home. And Bob, you said a couple of double plays weren't turned for him in that game.
Yeah, it looked like, at least reading the game recap on the Daytona message board, it looked like a couple of ground balls that possibly could have been double plays were not turned behind him, led the way to a couple runs. He did walk a few batters, gave up some hits. I think the big concern is, how does he feel now? He was able to get through it okay. No issues with the hamstring. I don't think anybody's too concerned over the numbers that he put on the board today.
I didn't know you like to frequent the Daytona Cubs message board. Is that what you do in your off time?
When I have off time, yeah. Only because we knew Big Z was twirling down there today.
Lou with a smile on his face. It was a tough night yesterday. Bottom line is the Cubs got the win, but a couple of hairy moments in the top of that inning. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, the good news is Lou had a little help from some of the fans down near that third base dugout as far as making pitching changes and when he should make pitching changes. Had a good laugh about it this morning.
Berkman takes the 2-out walk in front of Carlos Lee. Well, you had some time to go on the Daytona message board. I don't know how you found time. You had a pretty busy day yesterday as you were scouting the Cubs minor league system after a thrilling win.
I'm proud to report that the Peoria Chiefs beat the Beloit Snappers 6-5 last night after falling behind 5-0 early in the game. Josh Vitters hit a big home run. Junior Lake with a 2-run double late in the ball game. And just to show you, Len, you know, we got an email from a fan the other day, kind of poking some fun at Michael Brenly's speed. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, first pitch 12:05.
Yeah.
Game-winning run scoring 3:06. Drives 95 miles to Beloit, Pullman Field in Beloit.
This is just an average day in the life of a color guy. That's what you do every day.
Yeah, back home by 11:30.
I wondered why they were asking when I got home. It's not like the guys downstairs usually care. I figured there must be something up.
And he wore that jacket and tie.
Yeah, underneath the 5 blankets I had on. It was a chilly night in Beloit last night.
Meantime, Harden has missed on the last 6. He walked Berkman on 4 straight. The 2-0 to Lee is outside. You were saying about Michael's speed.
We got the email from a fan that was kind of poking fun at Michael Brenly's speed, and he got on base on an error last night and stole his first base of the season for the Chiefs. So take that.
Ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Harden after he got Matsui and Bourne, and it'll bring up Miguel Tejada, who's 12 for his last 29. If you'd like to send us an email, we have a new address, Len and Bob at chicagonow.com. The Astros are hitting .304 as a team in the month of May, second highest batting average among all the teams in baseball this month. There's a strike. Snaps a string of 8 consecutive balls from Rich Harden. Nothing in 2. Good changeup.
Yeah, changeup has movement like a hard split-fingered fastball. Bottom just falls out of it. Sometimes he gets it to move down and into the righty, sometimes down and away. That one was straight down.
One and 2 the count. Off day tomorrow, then the 3-game series in St. Louis Tuesday through Thursday. And the Cubs will then head to San Diego next weekend. Next home game after today will be Memorial Day evening against the Pittsburgh Pirates. A game you can catch right here on WGN Sports. We'll be on at 7 o'clock Central. We'll also have this coming Tuesday's game in St. Louis at 7 o'clock. A fly ball to right. Milton Bradley coming over. Makes the catch, and that's it for the Astros in the first. Couple of walks, no runs. The Cubs are coming up. Brought to you by Pepsi. Refresh everything. Soriano, Terrio, and Fukudome at the top. Lee, Bradley, and Soto in the middle. Mike Fontenot trying to get out of a slump. He bats 7th. Bobby Scales off to a fantastic start. And Rich Harden, the pitcher, hits 9th.
Let's take a look at the Astros defensively. Big Carlos Lee in left field. Michael Bourne with his 13 stolen bases leads the National League. Uses that speed to patrol that outfield. Hunter Pence over in right. Blum, Tejada, Matsui, and Berkman across the infield. Pudge Rodriguez once again doing the catching today for right-hander Brian Moeller. See his numbers on the season. He'll feature a fastball, curveball, changeup, slider, an occasional cut fastball. Tries to work away to righties and lefties.
First start of the year came against the Cubs in Houston. He got hammered. 8 hits, 7 runs in under 2 innings. And misses badly on the first pitch to Soriano. With the final swing yesterday with a game-ending RBI single to right, his 5th game-winning RBI of the season.
There's the numbers when Brian Moeller and Ted Lilly hooked up down at Minute Maid Park earlier this year. As you can guess from those numbers, Cubs had a big early lead in that game. Ted gave up a couple of home runs, but Cubs came home a winner.
Fly to right. Hunter Pence camped underneath. 1 away.
Well, one of the surprising things that jumps out at you when you look at the splits for Brian Moeller this season, left-handed hitters batting only .243 against him. Right-handers hitting .543, 19 for 35.
This is his 3rd start since coming off the disabled list. Had the sprained right knee and missed 3 outings. He's given up just 3 earned runs in 12 innings since coming back. And it's outside to Terrio. His last outing was his best start of the year. 7 innings, 1 run against San Diego in a no decision. Wasn't too bad last year. 26 starts after he moved into their rotation. 11-8 with a .443, about league average in terms of the ERA as Bourne makes the catch. Hey Bob, you know, if your 4 and 5 starters give you a chance to win every time out. I mean, the Astros were 16-10 when he started last year. You'll take that every time. You're not expecting your 5th starter to have a 3.20 earned run average. It just doesn't happen that way.
I think a lot of teams in the majors would take that kind of production out of the bottom of their rotation.
Called strike on Kosuke. Ooh, I hope they're dressed warm today.
Man. The water's probably in the low 50s. Temperature not much better than that today, even though it's a beautiful, clear, sunny day. Very chilly temperatures here.
On a day like this, when the high will, let's say, reach 58, 59, maybe 60 degrees, the lows will be in the low 40s. I was looking ahead, as I always do, because you have to pack for the upcoming road trip. When we're in San Diego next weekend, it's every day high of 66, low of 61. Not much of a range.
Morning fog giving way to afternoon sun.
Off the end of the bad foul by Kosuke.
Smile. Say pizza.
Another 1-2 pitch just off the inside corner. The Cubs have had their way with the Astros early on. They've won 5 of the first 6 between these two teams. They'll play a total of 17 times. Moeller has just missed each corner the last 2 pitches.
And he's a guy that really needs an inch or two off of each corner on both sides of the plate. If he has to come over the heart of the plate too often against these Cubs hitters, he's going to be in big trouble.
A fly to deep left. Lee's going back on it, and he catches it as he backpedals onto the warning track. They were booing him as he went out to take his position, and he tipped his cap to the fans in the bleachers. That's not nice, Carlos. Carlos Lee has played here a lot, and he's had a lot of success in the friendly confines, and the fans are letting him know about it. But the gloves have been taken off. More on that in a second. One strike on Hunter Pence.
Not making any new fans out there in the bleachers, that's for sure.
Bounce foul by Pence. Time now for a high-def shot of the game sponsored by Comcast. Well, they were letting him hear about it right before the inning. So he's faked the toss.
Well, if he thought he heard it before the game, wait till he goes out there to take his position in the bottom of the second.
Cubs baseball in high definition, sponsored by Comcast. Harden with his second strikeout of the day. Pence eliminated. It'll bring up Jeff Blum.
Just a devastating changeup. That's a pitch that you normally wouldn't use the adjective devastating, but Rich Harden has one of the best straight changeups in all of baseball, and will throw it in any count to any hitter.
Blum got hit by a pitch in the ninth. It was the last pitch thrown by Kevin Gregg, who just didn't have it. Aaron Heilman came in, gave up the game-tying two-run single to Pudge Rodriguez. That's lined and caught by Lee. And then we mentioned Marshall got out of it. 2 down. Hardest hit ball for the Astros to date.
Hit hard, but fortunately right at Derek Lee down there at first base. Just a couple steps to his right to make the play on that one. As usual, Rich Harden working without sleeves out there on the mound. He's pitched without sleeves in a lot colder days than this here at Wrigley Field.
Went with the heat and got the swing and the miss. Pudge Rodriguez as a catcher with the third most home runs. Overall, he has 299. So one away from a milestone. He also has the most career hits among players who have appeared in 1,000 or more games at catcher. 2,636. Harden's 1-2. It's outside. Fastball at 92. Struck him out. They go down 1-2-3. 3 strikeouts for Harden through 2. Cubs coming back in the second with Lee, Bradley, and Soto. Plan your next corporate function or family gathering in the comfort of the Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites, presented by Nuveen Investments. Suites are available now for games during the season. Be sure to ask about the May incentives. To book your suite or for more information, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-CUBS. And the Cubs also announcing today the club for the first time will offer single game tickets to the Bud Light Batter's Eye for select games during this season. As Derek Lee takes a strike from Brian Moeller, tickets are available on Cubs.com. Batter's Eye tickets previously were available exclusively to groups of 75 to 100 people. So make sure you check it out. There are limited dates, but the package is all inclusive. Unlimited food and beverage, wait service, reserved seating. So again, visit Cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS. One and two the count on Derek Lee, trying to get up into the 200s. He comes in at 198. The guy behind him, Milton Bradley, at 194. Giovanni Soto 202, Fontenot 210, and yet the Cubs are a half game out of first place. 21-14, and Bob, they have a better record today than they did a year ago through the same amount of games. Go figure.
That's why there's such reason for optimism this season. At some point, everybody's going to be back healthy, and guys are going to hit their stride offensively, swinging those bats, driving in runs. At that point, you just hope the pitching and defense continue to do what they've done up to this point of the season.
Doing it lately without Carlos Zambrano and Aramis Ramirez. Well, that was in on the hands and fought off by Lee. They did it yesterday without Milton Bradley. Michael Hoffpower filling in at right hit a big 2-run homer. He's worked a full count. Moeller got 3 fly ball outs in the first. Right, center, then left. This is going to be out of play.
Watching Moeller work to Derek Lee in this at bat. There's some cliches that pitching coaches and pitchers and hitters will use when referring to a pitcher's style. Away early, in late, and that's what Moeller has done against Derek Lee. Another one is soft early, throw a lot of off-speed pitches, and hard late.
Time just strike 3.
Paints the outside corner with a fastball right there. Soft early, hard late. You start the hitter with a lot of off-speed pitches and then try to finish him off with your best fastball. But the early pitches in the sequence were all on the outside corner or further away. When Moeller got ahead in the count, he pounded Derek Lee inside a couple times and then ultimately went back out on that outside corner for strike 3.
The 37-year-old righty deals to Bradley, who fouls it back. Talked about it yesterday. Michael Bourne plays a very shallow center. It's almost a straight line right across the outfield with Lee, Bourne, and Pence. Usually there's a bit of an arc. That's not the case.
Carlos Lee always plays at deep left field, even at Minute Maid Park down in Houston. Hunter Pence also likes to play deep because he charges the ball so hard, but Michael Bourne prefers to play shallow. The real danger you run into if you're the Astros and Michael Bourne is on a ball hit in the gap that your corner outfielders cannot get to. It may be a little tougher for Michael Bourne to get over and back up the play because he is playing so shallow.
2-2 on Bradley, who served his 1-game suspension yesterday. 7-game hit streak intact. In on the hands, fouled back. Seeing Michael Bourne play where he is makes me think about Jim Edmonds. Are you a little surprised nobody has taken a shot at Jim Edmonds? Jim Hendry took a little bit of a, that wasn't a big risk last year, but it certainly paid off. He was very good with the Cubs.
And to answer your question, I am a little bit surprised. I mean, if for no other reason, just to bring him into spring training camp as competition, and if he earns the right to make an opening day roster, then so be it. And if not, maybe he will push the other players and help mentor some of your young outfielders. But he didn't get that shot.
Line foul as Bradley pulled it. Still 2-2. Well, he's not the only one, Luis Gonzalez. I mean, Pudge Rodriguez signed in late March. A drive by Bradley to deep right. Pence is on the warning track and he'll get it. Ball was hit about 360 feet for a long fly out. Today's Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids: Mike Jovanovich from Valparaiso, Indiana, Nate Rubin from Buffalo Grove, Illinois. For more info on how you can be a Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kid, go to WGNradio.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. Getting an autograph from Milton Bradley, Kosuke Fukudome, Ron Santo, Ryan Theriot stopping by.
Good day for the Celebrity Bat Boys. The Cubs took batting practice on the field today. Had the rain out on Friday. A very early start to the ball game yesterday, so the team just hitting the cages. But full squad was out on the field early today and in the dugouts. Good day for the Bat Boys.
Here's a 1-1 to Soto. We've talked about Moeller coming inside. We've seen a lot of swings and guys are hitting the ball right off the handle.
And he has to be fine. I mean, he's got to get that pitch in there. His fastball tops out at in the high 80s, 88, 89, occasionally 90 on a good day. He has to make sure he gets that pitch on the corner or further in if he's going to challenge these righties inside. Oh, that's further in.
It's the first Cubs base runner. It comes with 2 outs in the second.
No intent on the part of Moeller here. I just mentioned he's got to be fine with his stuff. He's got to make sure to get those inside pitches inside far enough. From our Southwest Sky Cam, Giovanni Soto takes one off the left hip for the team. We'll continue the inning here for Mike Fondo.
Been a struggle for Mike lately. 1 for his last 26, but as his manager said, you know, playing pretty much every day, you just have to find a way to battle through it.
Well, just looking at some of his at-bats in recent games, Mike's swing looks like it's gotten a little bit long, and when your swing is long, you have a tendency to mentally feel you have to start early, and when you start your swing early, that's when you become susceptible to off-speed pitches. When he's at his best, he lets that ball travel. You can see he doesn't take any stride in that batter's box, just a slight weight shift from the back foot onto the front foot. But he's always been extremely quick with his hands. He's been swinging a little big lately.
2 balls and a strike on Fontenot. Soto got on as he got hit by a pitch with 2 outs.
When Lou was talking about Mike Fontenot's struggles, he said sometimes the problem is you think about it too much. And when you're a bench player and you only play 1 day a week or get a pinch hit appearance here or there, you don't really have the luxury of analyzing your swing. You just go up there and get your hacks as best you can, try to take advantage of the opportunity. But now, as pretty much an everyday player, Mike Fontenot may be thinking a little bit too much about his at-bats and his swing and his mechanics. Just go up there and be natural.
And a patient at bat as he takes a 2-out walk. Sets it up for Bobby Scales. Bobby had his 6-game hitting streak come to an end yesterday, but again, a big walk against an unfamiliar pitcher to him, LaTroy Hawkins, to start that game-winning rally. So he's reached base safely in his first 7 games, and Pudge is going to go out and chat with Moeller.
Yeah, Bobby said he got a quick scouting report from some of his teammates on the bench before taking that at bat against LaTroy Hawkins. He never faced him before and really battled to draw that base on balls.
There's their pitching coach, Dewey Robinson. Dewey's from Evanston. 1-0. Off the corner. And Robinson now is going to head out to the mound. Many think the spot Scales is in today is the toughest spot in the order. The 8 spot, as some pitchers will try to work around you. He's done a nice job.
Well, and what you're expected to do as a number 8 hitter in the lineup will change as the game progresses. Early in the ball game, you assume your starting pitcher is going to take his at bat in that 9 hole in the lineup. Teams are probably going to try to pitch around you in RBI situations and force the pitcher to take those at bats. And then later in the game, when there's a possibility of a pinch hitter, you have to change your approach a little bit. Be more willing to take the walk and set it up for the guy who will pinch hit for the pitcher.
3 balls, no strikes. A pitcher Harden on deck. That's a strike on the inner half. The kick and the 3-1 outside. They're loaded up. A hit batter and 2 walks. And Moeller now has to get the pitcher Harden to get out of it. Well, Andy Sonnenstein starting today for the Tampa Bay Rays at home against Cleveland is hitting third. They had an error on their lineup card. Ben Zobrist and Evan Longoria were both listed as the third baseman on the card that was handed to the umpires. That's a no-no. Longoria was supposed to be the DH. Game was delayed 13 minutes after the top of the first inning. Zobrist played third in that top of the first. You get the managers together and they finally sorted it out. Swing and a miss, 0-2. So the Rays ended up losing their DH, and Longoria is on the bench.
And I'm kind of surprised that hasn't happened with the Cubs when you think about Mike Fontenot playing second, playing third. Aaron Miles playing a little third, playing a little second, played some shortstop. You got guys playing multiple positions, and with the injuries the Cubs have had and hitting up and down different spots in the lineup. But Alan Trammell, who is in charge of filling out that daily lineup card, is right on top of it on a daily basis.
And if you don't know, Sonnenstein is the starting pitcher for the Rays today, batting third.
He probably did that in high school a few times, but I'd have to say it's the first and only time it'll happen in the major leagues.
One and two on Harden, bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch, a fly ball to right. Pence is going to get there. Not the day to hit it there, Rich. Wind's blowing in from the east. He got a hold of it, but it didn't fly. They leave him loaded. Cub fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone at WGNTV.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape, for up-to-the-minute stats and information designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game. It's brought to you by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. Does he know he has a panda on his head? Well, not anymore. It's a giveaway. Webkins, Lilkins, panda. Maybe Ted Lilly put it there. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitcher, Moeller. No hits in the game. Each team with chances. Rich Harden, if he had hit that fly ball on another day with the wind blowing out, and earlier this week it did, he might have hit it over Hunter Pence.
Yeah, you could see clearly from up here in the press box the ball came off the bat well, but up at the top of its arc, and the wind just knocked it down into the glove of Hunter Pence. He had a long way to run. He was playing Rich really shallow out there in right field.
Moeller to left for Soriano on the move. He makes a catch. Ball was cranked by the Astros starting pitcher.
And a good jump on that ball that time by Soriano out there in left field. It was hit hard on a line. Soriano was off at the crack of the bat, makes it a fairly easy running catch out there near the warning track.
Matsui struck out to start the game. He pops it up on the right side. Scales with a better angle. He'll take it. 2 outs. Cub fans, don't forget to check out our WGN baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Click on the sports link. Look for Len and Bob's baseball blog. I have a post, and so does Bob. Game notes from our friends at Stats Inc. and much, much more. Once again, WGNTV.com. Click on sports. Look for the link to Len and Bob's blog. Bourne trying to start a 2-out rally. Change-up strike from Harden. Rich making his 8th start of the year, his 5th at home. His numbers have been a lot better on the road. ERA is under 3. Away from Wrigley Field, it's over 6 here. He's won his last 4 decisions overall.
There's a lot of concern earlier this season. Rich had a start where his velocity was down in the high 80s pretty consistently. Everybody assumed he was starting to have the arm problems that have plagued him in the past, but he's come right back in his last 3 or 4 outings and consistently been in the low to mid 90s with that fastball. It seems like he's always got a little extra if he needs it. He's not a maximum effort pitcher. And he really doesn't have to have an overpowering fastball. He just has to have the proper split between the fastball and the changeup to be effective. Should be a changeup right here. You saw Gio wiggle the fingers. There it is again.
Got him. 86 on that changeup. He really changes speeds with all of his pitches, or both of them. Still 0-0. Well, there's a big crowd here, lots of kids in the ballpark as the Cubs are trying for a perfect homestand. They had Friday's game rained out, but they won all three against the Padres and beat the Astros yesterday. Top of the order here in the third. Well, Moeller has one strikeout. The other 5 outs have been fly balls to the outfield.
Normally that's not a recipe for success, pitching at Wrigley Field, even though he is assisted by that wind blowing in from right field today. But if you give up too many fly balls in this ballpark, you're going to be sorry.
He normally gets more ground balls than fly balls. Major League career began back in 1996 with the Tigers. Outside, 2-2. Terrio and then Fukudome after Soriano. The wind and the pitch. Broke his bat. The bat was fair. The ball was foul. That was odd. A lot of times the ball will be fair and the bat will go foul, but rarely is it the other way around.
We talked about Moeller's ability to pitch inside to these hitters, and if he indeed is hitting his spots today, we may see a few more broken bats. A lot of late movement on that sinker inside, right in on the hands of Alfonso Soriano, and blew up that bat.
Just reached out, and he's going to drop it in front of Carlos Lee for the first hit. I love that big, heavy, long bat for Soriano. Got the bat head out and blooped it into left center.
The 2009 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Leadoff man on base for the first time. It was a nice effortless swing from Soriano. Terrio flied out to center his first time, 2 for 8. Lifetime versus Moeller, who was 2-3 in his career against the Cubs. This is his 3rd career start, 4th game at Wrigley Field. He has a 3 earned run average. Deep to left center for Terrio. Back toward the wall. It's going to hit the warning track. Soriano's going to be sent by Mike Quade, and he'll score without a throw. Terrio with another extra base hit. The power surge continues for the Riot. It's 1-0.
I'll tell you, Len, there's no question his swing is different in certain situations. That is a middle of the plate fastball right there, a lift uppercut swing, driving that ball into the gap in left center. That'll short hop the wall out there at the 366 mark. 368, excuse me. He's trying to hit for more power. The good thing is he's keeping his head on the ball. Hitting coaches will always tell you there's nothing wrong with swinging hard as long as you're seeing the ball.
He's picking up the power slack, I guess, with Aramis Ramirez on the disabled list. You know, another guy I think about who was a lot like Ryan Terrio earlier in his career was Mark Loretta. He'd take those inside pitches, he'd fight him off the other way. He'd take the pitch we just saw and he'd try to shoot it to right and move Soriano to third. And then about 5 years ago or so with the Padres, Loretta started to yank those balls out of the park. I think he had a year he hit 16 home runs.
We're talking about a guy like Loretta. Over the course of his career, he established that he was an inside out hitter, an opposite field hitter, and teams pitched and played him accordingly. So then you make an adjustment late in your career, decide you're going to start pulling that ball, try to drive it into the gaps and out of the ballpark, and teams are going to take a while to realize that you've changed your approach at the plate.
Terrio with a decent lead at second. And a called strike on Fukudome. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Speaking of strikes, Milwaukee struck first in St. Louis. They got 4 off Todd Wellemeyer in the first inning. It's now in the third. Manny Parra's pitching for the Brewers. Wellemeyer has walked 5 in just 2 1/3. One of the many trips to the mound for Pudge Rodriguez, but this one was requested by the pitcher. Well, if you've never been to Wrigley Field or been 1,000 times, a guided tour of the friendly confines has something for everyone. Each tour includes visits to places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25. A portion of the proceeds benefits Cubs designated charities. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Fukudome lays that one into center. Bourne coming in, and Mike Quade has to hold him, and I think it was a good choice. As Bourne fired a bullet to Rodriguez. But a nice piece of hitting by all 3 guys to start this inning. Soriano with the bloop single into left center, and Terrio cranked one into the gap, followed by Kosuke with this one.
They get to barrel the bat on the ball. Good things happen, even if it's not a perfect swing. The weight of the bat and your hand speed through that hitting zone will produce some good results. Yeah, that was a good hold right there. Michael Bourne was charging that ball hard. We mentioned he plays a shallow center field to start with. Plus, he has a pretty good throwing arm out there.
Back-to-back hits to start the inning. Derek Lee high in the air and deep. Left center, Carlos Lee. And it's off the wall. Lee acted like he might catch it. Terrio scores. Kosuke had to hold up to make sure it got down, and it's 2-0. That ball was up there a while, but he hit it in the right spot. It's rare to see Michael Bourne not get to a ball like that, but he was playing in and over in center.
Yeah, he's playing in and a couple steps over into the gap in right center for Derek Lee. You see how far he has to run. That wind continuing to push the ball away from him. About 3 or 4 feet up the wall out there in left center field. The Cubs are teeing off on Moeller right now.
Bradley with runners at second and third, and the Astros infield in. Off the plate outside, 2-0 on Bradley. Russ Ortiz was in their rotation the last time we saw them. He's now in the bullpen, and he's up. A much different story this time through. Popped up by Bradley. Del Tejada with the catch in the first out. Moeller retired the first 5 he faced. Second time through, 4 of the first 5 reached.
Huge pitch count here with One out in the bottom half of the third inning. It might take Russ Ortiz a while to get loose down there. As you mentioned, he was in the rotation earlier this season. The Cubs saw him down in Houston on that last road trip. And now pitching out of the bullpen. And for those guys that are used to taking a full 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes to warm up before a start, having that phone ring in the bullpen, get the adrenaline going, jump up on that mound, it might take him a little longer than a normal relief pitcher.
Soto pops it into right. Pence went back, now coming way in, and he makes the shoestring catch, and everybody has to hold. Pence got fooled by it. Wind pushing it back towards home plate, and he was able to pick it before it hit the grass. That's a nice catch by Hunter Pence, and it saved a run.
Boy, speed can make up for a lot of mistakes out there in the outfield. Hunter Pence fooled by that ball off the bat of Giovanni Soto, but has the speed to make up the ground. Nice diving, sliding catch. Fukudome had initially gone back to the bag to tag up, but then as that ball looked like it was going to drop in, he started to creep down the third baseline and had to hold once Pence made the catch.
Well, it'd be nice to see Mike Fontenot pick up his teammates and get these two guys in, as Lee and Fukudome were in scoring position with nobody out. I think this is a really big inning here.
By the way, Rich Harden's pitching. If you're Cecil Cooper, it's already been a big inning. Rich Harden appears to be on top of his game today.
Mike held up, according to Bill Hahn down at third. A 1-1 with foul. When you're in a slump like Mike is in, it seems like every time up it's a ball and two strikes. That's the case here.
And it also seems like when you do get a good pitch to hit, and that last one was a good pitch to hit, a fastball up over the heart of the plate, instead of putting it in play solidly, you foul it away.
Both teams are off tomorrow. Cubs will be in St. Louis Tuesday, and Houston will fly home to host the Brewers on Tuesday. And a long inning for Moeller. And the second inning was a long one, 36 pitches, as he faced a bases loaded situation with 2 outs in that inning. 25 pitches already in the third. It was after a relatively routine 12-pitch first inning. Coming back to Fontenot, out into center. Bourne, however, will get there no problem. And that ends the inning. Cubs get 2. They could have had more, and they lead 2-0. Not worried about the rain, but a little cool today. Lance Berkman drills that one out toward the alley. It'll be cut off by Kosuke, but he's way out there, and Berkman will have an easy double. Berkman starting to heat up. Came in hitting .438 on their road trip. Time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. It's the Camp of Dreams from Chicago, being hosted by Ryan Dempster as part of his Dempster's Dugout program. Ryan, along with most of the Cubs, they do a lot of great community work in the Chicago area. Ryan not starting today, so a little extra time before and after batting practice. Great stuff. Group of 40 here today. Camp of Dreams, a Chicago nonprofit devoted to enriching the lives of underserved youth between the ages of 9 and 18. That's today's Have a Ball, thanks to the Illinois Lottery. Well, it looked like the Cubs were going to break this thing wide open. They did get two, but Moeller found a way to limit the damage, and now Berkman with a leadoff double, and Carlos Lee is one swing away from a tie game, and he's in a hitter's count. Got a good rip at that one and fouled it back, 2-1.
Well, there's no question El Caballo is a powerful hitter, a run producer in the middle of this Astros lineup, but the way the wind is blowing in off the lake today, you don't see him drive the ball with a lot of authority to the opposite field. Most of the damage he does is to his pull field.
He got under one. And Soriano with a catch.
I mean, on a day like this, when there's any confusion or any doubt about what pitch do you want to throw to a big power hitter, you throw it up and out over the plate, make him hit it to the opposite field. If he's going to beat you to right field today, he's going to have to earn it.
That'll bring up Miguel Tejada. A couple of other interesting news and notes from around baseball. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard, but Rich Hill got the win for Baltimore last night in Kansas City. The former Cub. It was his first start off the disabled list. He had been on with an elbow injury. He got his first win since April 18th of last year when he was here. Right-hander Max Scherzer of the Diamondbacks got his first major league win. Robert Ray, a right-hander with the Blue Jays, his first win. And Tejada pokes it past Lee, and that puts Houston on the board as Tejada with an RBI double plating Berkman.
Tell you, Lynn,
2-1.
Yeah, this was a hot offensive ball club coming into this series. The rain out certainly slowed them down a little bit, and in yesterday's ball game they didn't make a lot of noise until that ninth inning, but the Astros were swinging some hot bats coming into this series against the Cubs, and that time Tejada, with a little bit of an inside out swing of his own, shoots one right down that first baseline.
Now Pence having a solid month. 1 ball, no strikes. John Lackey came back and made a season debut for the Angels, and he got ejected after 2 pitches to Ian Kinsler of the Rangers. The first one was behind his head. The second one hit him, and Bob Davidson kicked him out. Kinsler had hit 2 home runs the previous night. So if the Angels want to bring Lackey back on short rest after just 2 pitches, they could probably do that
tomorrow. Yeah. Well, Ian Kinsler seems to be the target of a lot of the American League pitchers' wrath. I'm not sure what he's done to deserve that, but seems to have a bullseye on his back.
Big swing by Pence. 1-2. It's Jeff Blum on deck. We haven't talked too much about Big Papi. He's off to a terrible start, and he's been given a little time off to regroup. 208, no homers, and 144 at bats as Harden blows away Pence. He struck him out both times. 5 on the day for Rich.
Pence doing Rich Harden a favor there, chasing a neck-high fastball out over the plate from our Southwest Sky Cam. Hunter Pence. Yeah, we talk a lot, Len, about players' ability to slow the game down. I think on occasion Hunter Pence can really speed the game up with the best of them. Not only in that at bat, but that throw to home plate to end the ball game yesterday. He's got the strongest throwing arm in this Astros outfield. He had all his momentum coming toward home plate. It wasn't a deep fly ball to right field that he picked up and really rushed his throw and airmailed it all the way to the backstop, allowing Bobby Scales to score.
Pulled foul by Blum.
Now, that being said, I do think Hunter Pence will learn to slow the game down. He's a very talented athlete, has a lot of tools to work with. Still trying to learn his way through the major leagues.
Foul pop. Soto looking for some room, but it's just beyond the backstop. Can't reach through the screen and make the catch, but was about maybe a foot away from being a foul out and the inning over. Where's the ball?
Somebody's probably already got it in their pocket. I love it when that happens. Somebody grabs the ball quickly and hides it, and everybody's going to look for it for the rest of the afternoon. There it is. We talk a lot about the wind here at Wrigley and how it affects balls put into play to the outfield. Well, that was an example right there of a ball that got pushed just far enough out of play that Giovanni Soto did not have a play on it. With no wind here today, that ball probably stays in play and we're out of this inning.
No clue where it is. Into right and a base hit. Bradley getting set to throw toward the plate. Tejada running hard. He's going to beat the throw, and that's a tie game, 2-2.
You know, Len, on occasion we'll talk about a hitter dropping the head of the bat on the ball. Watch this swing by Jeff Blum. This is the definition of dropping the head of the bat on the ball. That pitch was down and in. Didn't try to do too much, didn't use a lot of body, just used his hands, got the barrel of the bat on the ball and lined it cleanly into right field. Soto wanted that pitch up and out over the plate to try to get another swinging strike like they were able to do on Hunter Pence, but the pitch was down.
Up and in on Rodriguez. 2-2 tie in the fourth. '93-year-old Lois Carroll, huge Cub fan, watches every day. Checking us out this afternoon on WGN. Fred and Millie Stidham will be celebrating their 67th wedding anniversary tomorrow. And they found the ball.
I dare you to go after it now.
Yeah. A high drive by Rodriguez, and it's into the basket, and Pudge Rodriguez pumps his fist. He just hit his 300th home run. Ball ended up back on the field, probably not the home run ball. And I'm sure the Astros will try to get it, and he gives them a 4-2 lead.
Milestone home run for Pudge Rodriguez. At this stage of his career, for me, He needs to cheat a little bit to get to that fastball, but when he hits it, he can still drive it a long way through the wind out into the basket in left center field. Congratulations, and knock it off.
So the question is, was the ball that was thrown back onto the field the actual home run ball? Most of the time it doesn't really matter, but Pudge looked back between third and home as if to say, if that ball ended up on the field, I want it. Moeller rolls it up the middle over second base, and Terrio will throw him out. So home run number 300 for Rodriguez ends up giving the Astros a 2-run lead. Ball out of the basket. Well, he had a chance to negotiate. 4-2. Well, the Astros have an opportunity to become the first team in history to have 3 players hit their 300th home run in the same season. Rodriguez just got there. Lance Berkman with 296. Carlos Lee with 289. Well, wasn't it the White Sox earlier this year? They had back-to-back. Konerko and Dye with their 300th home runs. So the Cubs have some work to do at the plate, and Bob, the best they can hope for is that they do what they did the last inning against Brian Moeller in terms of hit the ball really hard. A big change from the first couple of innings.
They're going to have to do it quickly, because I have a feeling Cecil Cooper is going to have a real short leash on Brian Moeller from this point forward. We saw Russ Ortiz warming in the bullpen in the bottom half of the third inning. Is probably pretty close to being ready to go.
2-0 on Scales with Harden on deck. Cubs missed a chance to really break it open. After they got the 2 runs, they had him at second and third with no outs, and didn't get any more. Astros have been a lot better since a tough start to the season. They lost 6 of their first 7, but they've gone 15-13 since then. Moeller's 3-1, and Scales took a rip at it. Other thing I've noticed about Bobby Scales, when he gets in a good hitter's count, he doesn't hold back.
11 years in the minor leagues, you learn some things about the game. Bobby Scales knows when to let it out a little bit, when to be a little more protective.
Hit hard on a bounce. Might have hit the shin of Berkman. Well, he's not limping, so maybe it caught the glove. That was a nice play just to knock it down.
Hey, Lynn, the Bud Light Concert Series is back. OAR with Robert Randolph and the Family Band will be playing the Charter One Pavilion on June 18th, brought to you by Bud Light. Tickets are available exclusively at livenation.com. OAR with Robert Randolph and the Family Band, June 18th, brought to you by Bud Light. Live music and Bud Light keeps it coming.
Swing and a miss by Harden. Blum plays in at third. Called strike 0-2. Well, remember yesterday we were talking about Chris Carpenter coming back on Friday against the Kansas City Royals. Well, that's changed. Cardinals are now looking at him pitching Wednesday against the Cubs. Cardinals have Pinheiro, Loesch, and Wainwright listed for that series, but they have a makeup game tomorrow versus the Brewers, and Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan deciding to move their DL'd ace up a couple of days. Harden swung and missed, but the ball got away, and Rodriguez will throw. Safe. He beat it out. I think Rich is the fastest Cubs pitcher. Carlos Zambrano may argue that point, but he gets down the line quickly.
Well, he really does. I mean, hesitation there until he realized the ball was in the dirt at the backstop and then scoots down that line. I've seen him used as a pinch runner once this season when Zambrano blew out his hamstring at first base. There was a slight delay as Rich went to put his cleats on, but I think in the future on days he doesn't start, it'd be a good idea for him to leave his cleats out on the bench.
So strikeout and a wild pitch. Tying run at the plate. Soriano with a fly to right. This one's not going to go anywhere as Pence comes in. 2 down. Here comes Terrio for the third time. RBI double and a run in the third. He flied out his first time. Started the day at 298. He's up to 301. At this point, Moeller's just trying to find a way to get through 5 innings, have a chance for a win with his pitch count now nearing 90. And only the 4th.
He's had a high of 94 pitches in a start this year against the Washington Nationals. Went 5 innings in that game. Last time out, 7 innings against the Padres through 91 pitches.
Native of Rockingham, North Carolina. Called strike. 0-2. Knocked down by Rodriguez, keeping Harden at first. Berkman plays behind Harden. Called strike 3, inside corner, and the inning is over. 2 Ks for Moeller in the inning. It's 4-2 Houston. Now time for the 5th inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Harden against Matsui, who lays down a nice bunt, barehanded by Fontenot, and the throw is going to be tardy. The bunt single for Kaz Matsui. Came in at 204 left-handed. He was 0 for 2, but he laid down a stellar bunt.
And Giovanni Soto alerted the corner infielders to be aware of a possible bunt, but Matsui puts it down perfectly just inside that third baseline. Mike Fontenot does everything he can, making the barehanded play, but too much speed for Matsui, beats it out easily.
Cecil Cooper was asked recently if he might consider switching Bourne and Matsui in the batting order. Bourne having a much better offensive season to date. But Cooper said he'll leave them right where they are. Wants to keep some pressure off Michael Bourne. Doesn't want to mess with his success. Bourne leads off only when Matsui is out of the lineup. These two guys do steal bases, and when they run, they're normally safe. Matsui has been successful about 84% of the time. That's an excellent percentage over his career. Bourne at 83%. Having said that, the Astros lead the majors in caught stealing 15 times. There he goes, and it's hit foul.
We're looking at Michael Bourne's career splits as a leadoff hitter. He's only a .220 batter, but in that number 2 spot, .309. So maybe something to Cecil Cooper's idea of taking some pressure off of Michael Bourne.
Well, he hits him in front of Berkman, and while Berkman's off to a slow start, you can see that he's getting out of it, and that, leads to Bourne seeing more fastballs. No doubt Matsui will run on a 3-2 pitch. He heads towards second, and another foul.
Well, this is exactly the situation you're talking about with Lance Berkman in the on-deck circle. I'm sure Giovanni Soto would like to call a changeup, maybe get a swinging strike on Michael Bourne, but a changeup is a pitch that's more likely to allow Matsui to steal second base, so Cubs are probably going to continue to go after him with fastballs.
Matsui runs. This is a topper as Harden pounced off the mound and gets Bourne. 1-3.
Same effect as a sacrifice bunt. Little topper on that first base side. Rich Harden showing that speed that he showed getting down the first baseline on that wild pitch to bounce off the mound, make a nice defensive play there on the speedy Michael Bourne.
Bourne expended all of his energy running to first. Took his time getting back into the dugout. Lance Berkman, a stand-up guy, took the blame for yesterday's loss. Remember the looping fly ball hit by Soriano in the 6th? Said he should have caught it. that led to the 3 runs the Cubs got off Roy Oswalt. Many times in a game you think about the big plays, the 2-run homers, the RBI doubles, the sac flies, but a lot of times it's that leadoff walk or the bunt play that was botched that the players will think about more than the home runs. Or the hit batter on an 0-2 pitch.
Or that one at bat where an opposing hitter fouls off 14 or 15 pitches to stay alive in a sequence, and even though maybe he doesn't reach base, the guys that follow him in the batting order take advantage of a fatigued pitcher and maybe do some damage.
Well, it was interesting because I was looking at the Houston Chronicle and it said Berkman takes blame for loss. It was the headline, and I thought he was going to refer to the 2-0 pitch that he hit on the ground in the 9th inning in a tie game with the bases loaded. But he went back to the 6th. Couldn't get that play out of his head. He broke his bat as he hits a pop up to third and is retired by Fontenot. Still not out of the woods as Carlos Lee will dig in.
Base open at first with 2 outs in the inning. Miguel Tejada in the on deck circle. See how Rich Harden approaches El Caballo this at bat. Got a base to work with here. First pitch change up down in the dirt. Another change up in the dirt. That time Lee could not hold up. Sometimes you can overthink this though as a hitter. A guy like Carlos Lee, he knows first base is open with 2 outs in the inning. He knows he's not likely to get too much good to hit. Once you start thinking along those lines, you lose your aggressiveness. You think the pitcher's going to pitch around you. He's not going to give me anything good to hit. End up falling behind in the count, and now the strategy changes. Now they may choose to go ahead and go after him.
Matsui with a bunt single to start the inning. He's now at second. And the kick and the pitch fouled back our way, just below the broadcast booth. I thought you had a shot at it.
Good line, just a little short. Went down there.
Todd Wellemeyer settled down in St. Louis, but he's now out of the game in the 6th. Still 4-0 Milwaukee. The Brewers have been hot lately. They've won 18 of their last 23, something like that. Gloved by Terrio at short. Carlos Lee is out, and the Astros done in the 5th. They lead 4-2. Brian Moeller here in the last of the fifth, facing Fukudome, Lee, and Bradley, as the Astros lead 4-2. Ball one on Kosuke, 1 out of 2 on the afternoon. Snapped a 7-game hitting streak yesterday. Maybe starting another one today. Matsui gobbles it up. Let's check out who's moving forward with Toyota. Most wins in the National League. The Dodgers are closing in on number 26 as they have a big lead late in Florida. Milwaukee with 22, and then you have the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Mets with 21. Today's Toyota moving forward thanks to Toyota.
3 teams in the Central Division on that list, and the Reds not far behind at 20 victories. So the power in the National League found in that Central Division, at least in the early going this year.
The Reds have dropped the first 2 games of that series in San Diego. Nick Hundley with a game-ending homer in the 16th last night. Edinson Volquez left early with mild back spasms. It doesn't sound serious. Joey Votto also left with some dizziness. The game ended late last night or early this morning, depending on where you live. I was talking to somebody before the game about how things changed so quickly in this game. The Padres won 9 of their first 12, off to a great start. The team we saw, Bob, looked like a last place team. They go home. They get reamed out by their managers. Derek Lee hits that ball deep to left. Carlos Lee's already given up on it. Gone! 4-3 now. Good to see Derek turn on one for his 4th home run. Two RBIs for Lee today. Cubs are within 1 swing now.
We talked about Derek in the ball game yesterday, how his timing is just not quite where it needs to be. Well, it looks like he's getting a little closer. After missing 4 or 5 ball games with those neck spasms, starting to hit for some power. Our Southwest, how far did it fly? 357 feet to left field.
Outside on Bradley. Just to finish the thought, Kevin Towers made a bunch of moves on Friday. Padres have won 2 in a row. Well, the Cubs have seen the Astros. The Astros haven't been that good, but they got hot last week, won 5 of 6. You tend to view opponents by how they play when you see them. So sometimes it's not who you play, it's when you play them.
Well, you mentioned the Astros winning 5 out of 6 against the West. That was against the San Diego Padres and the Colorado Rockies, 2 teams that have been struggling recently. So you have to look a little bit beyond the numbers sometimes as well.
Cubs did not play Florida in the first 12 games of the season as the Marlins win 11-1. Fulchino the righty, Burdak the lefty. And they cooled off. The Cubs beat them 3 out of 4. Bradley fouled that one off his front foot. The next pitch. Count holding it 2 apiece.
The Dodgers without Manny Ramirez, it looked like perhaps an opportunity for the rest of that Western Division to close some ground on the Dodgers. They went 5-5 over their last 10 games. Unfortunately, nobody else in the division could do any better.
Called strike 3. Juan Pierre having a big weekend in Florida for the Dodgers. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Soto fouls back. 2 out, nobody on. Derek Lee with a 1-out home run to left to close the gap. Joe Madden might consider messing up his lineup card again in the future, as his starting pitcher Andy Sonnenstein having to hit third in the lineup. He had an RBI double today as part of a 5-run fourth as they took the lead over Cleveland.
They didn't have a book on Sonnenstein. Didn't know how to pitch him.
He's out of the game now. Evan Longoria came in to play third. Grant Balfour pitching, but Madden has to manage that game just like a National League manager. He's getting ready for interleague play. Fly to center. Bourne there to make the catch. Cubs get their first home run today from Derek Lee. It's 4-3 Houston.
Derek Lee with a home run to pull the Cubs within one as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. It'll be Miguel Tejada, Hunter Pence, and Jeff Blum for the Astros against Rich Hart.
Ball one high on Tejada. It's Hamlin Park Baseball Day here at Wrigley Field. Great to see over 200 players and parents at the ballpark, along with President Sean Delante. Cubs funded the renovation of the fields at Hamlin Park, so the kids now play on Banks, Williams, Santo, and Sandberg fields over at Hamlin Park.
Is the Santo field natural grass, or is that artificial turf?
You want to go over and ask him? Ground ball base hit into center. Tejada with 2 hits on the day, 1 away from what would be his 9th 3-hit game of the year. If you're traveling and can't watch your Cubs on TV, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer, and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Leadoff man on. And a 1-0 count to Hunter Pence, who has struck out swinging both times. Ball gets away from Soto, and Tejada thought about it but stays at first. Double-barreled action in the bullpen. Jose Escanio, the righty, on the left, and Sean Marshall, the lefty, on the right. Gotta love Sean Marshall. He's been the Cubs' 5th starter yesterday. 3 pitches, got the win. He's back up on the mound today, and he's scheduled to start on Thursday in St. Louis. Called strike. Now, I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't asked anybody about it. But if Sean, I mean, if they need him maybe a little more than they thought, they could possibly bring Randy Wells back. It would be his 5th day on Thursday. But for the moment, the lefty is scheduled to start the final game of that series. There's nothing wrong, Bob, with having 6 guys you can count on as a starter.
Oh, nothing at all. Especially over the course of a long season, there are going to be issues with the starting rotation, whether it's injuries or ineffectiveness, or a guy just needs an extra day maybe between starts, and having that one more arm available never hurt anything.
Pence whiffs for the 3rd time. Hasn't put a ball in play yet.
That's just a middle of the plate fastball just above the knees. Big swing by Pence, comes up empty once again. That's a big out right there. Now ground ball, you're possibly out of this inning.
When you see a guy with 2 strikes completely miss a ball right in the middle of the strike zone on a straight fastball, what does that tell you? Does it tell you about Harden's changeup?
Well, that could be part of it. Or maybe not feeling well, not seeing the ball well today. Guessing wrong, thinking too much.
Yeah.
Could be any number of things, but that's a pitch that most of the time with 2 strikes on a big league hitter, you're rarely going to swing and miss.
Soto's going to throw, and Tejada, who slipped, got kind of caught off guard, able to get back in time.
Feet of Miguel Tejada got out there, got crossed up a little bit, has to go back on his belly.
Excellent camera work down there at first. It's Blum swings and misses. 1 and 2. Ground ball to second. Scales with the flip. Terrio the turn. Save. Along with that rollover ground ball to second, but they just couldn't get to.
They sure look with the naked eye like they got him at first base. Just reaches out there and flips that ball back to the right side. The long backhand toss by Bobby Scales. Very close. Very close. Closer than I thought. Derek Lee thought they had him. That's one of those plays you're going to get an argument from either side. Call him out. The Astros will be arguing. Call him safe. The Cubs will be arguing. It was that close.
Rodriguez tied the game yesterday in the ninth and gave the Astros the lead today with his 300th career home run. Jason Smith is on deck for Moeller. Smith without a hit on the season. And Tim Burdack, the lone Astro reliever, throwing at the moment.
Now 0 for the season is 0 for the season, but it's not as bad as it really sounds for Jason Smith. Only 24 at bats this year. He's played in 19 ball games. He's been used as a defensive replacement late. He's been used as part of a double switch. But you know he'd like to get that first one. He's going to have to wait till tomorrow or Tuesday.
One bad inning for Rich Harden. He gave up 4 in the 4th. Most runs he's allowed in a single inning since 2004. And a new season high in pitches. He's nearing 110 as he walks Rodriguez, and Smith will be announced. First walk since back-to-back free passes in the first inning. So Moeller taken out for a pinch hitter and has a chance for a win if the Astros pen can make it hold up.
There'll be a dual purpose meeting here for Larry Rothschild out to the mound to talk with Rich Harden about the scouting report on the pinch hitter, and also just to give him a little rest here. Might as well empty the tank right here if you're Rich Harden. And I think if it was perhaps a different pinch hitter in this situation, we might see Lou go to the bullpen, because Rich is obviously getting near the end here. You mentioned his pitch count, but Jason Smith, as we mentioned earlier, hasn't had a hit yet this season, is not known for his offensive prowess. Going to give Rich Harden an opportunity to get out of this inning on his own.
He's a former Cub. He's actually with his second stint in an Astros uniform this season. He was designated for assignment on May 6th and then 4 days later re-signed. Lance Berkman had a day-to-day wrist injury, and that sparked the move. Harden with a 1-1 pitch inside corner, 1-2. Harden emptying the tank, and he gets a swing and a miss. Throw goes to Derek Lee, and the inning is over. That'll be it for Harden as his spot's due up third in the bottom of the inning. 4-3 Houston. Now today's Bud Light Fan Cam. We feature a band with a few guys from the Chicago area. Supergroup Tinted Windows with Kind of Girl. Today's Bud Light Fan Cam is Fontenot bunts. Rodriguez picks it up, fires, and gets him. Tim Burdack now on for Houston. Fontenot trying to get on base any way possible. A nice play by the catcher Rodriguez. Numbers for Burdack from the Chicago area originally, and will now face Bobby Scales, who will bat from the right side.
Burdack working on a string of 5 straight scoreless appearances. Tough on lefties.
Ryan Friel on deck for Harden.
A good idea by Mike Fontenot. Unfortunately, just didn't get it far enough down that third baseline to get it away from Pudge Rodriguez.
Bobby Scales lifts to left. Carlos Lee backpedaling, middle of the track. 2 down. Didn't miss it by much. Here comes Friel.
Scales showing a little pop there from the right side of the plate. We haven't seen him with a lot of at-bats. That's only his second at-bat as a right-handed hitter here with the Cubs.
Strike at the knees on Friel. Lee coming on, and Burdack makes quick work of the Cubs in the 6th. A little more from Tinted Windows. 4-3. Let's check out today's Honda Accord game summary. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2009 Honda Accord. Ivan Rodriguez ticketed for the Hall of Fame. He hit his 300th career home run and did end up with the ball. And the Cubs have come from behind for almost half their wins. They'll try to do that again today. Looking to get good bullpen work, starting with Jose Escaño. Kaz Matsui just got hit on the backside. on the first pitch. See Ascanio shaking his head, not the way he wanted to start this inning. In his season debut on Thursday, after pitching extremely well in the minors, he was starting for Iowa.
That was one of those pitches that was in a location where Matsui didn't know whether to go forward or backward to try to get out of the way. That pitch that starts out just behind the hitter. If you back up, it's going to hit you even worse. But your natural instinct is always to back away from the plate when you see a pitch inside. Oh, wow. Goodness.
Bourne got hit as he squared the bunt, and that one got him just below the knee. What's going on here? Larry Rothschild coming out. Boy, those first two pitches were nowhere near the plate. I mean, both hitting the guys, but not grazing either batter.
Well over into that left-handed batter's box as Bourne squares around to bunt. Caught him just below the right knee. You can see Giovanni Soto diving to his right just to try to make a play on that ball if Bourne was able to get out of the way. We got to find it and find it quickly.
And here come the big bats and Berkman and Lee, Tejada and Pence. The last three guys hitting over 300, and Berkman with a low batting average but starting to heat up. Inside again. And Angel Guzman is throwing in the bullpen. Excellent speed on the base paths. Caught the inside corner, 1-1. Ground ball, base hit to right. Matsui's going to score without a throw. And they're at the corners with no outs. So the two-hit batters costing Ascanio. And the Cubs, it's 5-3 and still no outs.
Need some stalling tactics right now. Somebody, Giovanni Soto, Ryan Theriot, Derek Lee, one of the infielders needs to make a trip to the mound here, stall for some time, or untie a shoe, have a contact lens, get out of place. Give Angel Guzman some more time to warm up down there.
A wild pitch and another run. Well, yesterday, Kevin Gregg had his worst outing as a Cub, and after the game, he told reporters, "I think I could have hit myself." And Ascanio's having a similar outing, although in the case of Gregg, his location problems were right in the middle of the plate. Ascanio can't find the plate right now.
That's the same spot where he hit the first two batters of the inning, over there in that left-handed batter's box, really pulling everything way over to that side of the plate.
Michael Bourne had to limp home after getting hit by a pitch in the lower leg. 1-1 on Lee. Berkman now at second base and 2 runs already in. Ground ball to third. That'll keep the runner at second, and Ascanio gets that first out.
Well, and you were just talking a few moments ago about the little things in the game that players remember, and also talking about how the Cubs have shown a great ability to come from behind this year to win ball games. But in order to do that, your bullpen has to slam the door on the opposition. You cannot allow them to score any more runs. Give your team a little bit of momentum so your offense at least has a chance to come back in the ball game. And so far, it has not worked out that way for Jose Ascanio. I mean, the offense will get all the credit for the comeback victory if they're able to come back in this ball game. But bottom line is your bullpen has to stop the bleeding.
Berkman takes off for third, and he's gunned down by Soto. Tried to sneak attack, and it didn't work. 2 outs.
Berkman trying to take advantage of perhaps a distracted Jose Escaño, but got a terrible jump out there at second base and is gunned down easily at third. Big break for the Cubs right there.
So the Astros caught for a major league leading 16th time. The 2-0 pitch golfed into left. Soriano will catch it. Time to sing the stretch with Cubs legend Ron Santo.
Welcome, Cubs legend Ron Santo.
All right. Let me hear you. The greatest fans in the world.
Right-hander Alberto Arias is on for Houston. Last of the 7th. The Astros adding on with a couple, making it a 6-3 ball game. 1-0 on Soriano. This is the biggest lead of the afternoon for either team. Still some time. The Cubs have 9 outs to work with.
Astros right-hander Arias pitched an inning in the ball game yesterday in relief of Roy Oswalt. Struck out Bobby Scales looking, got Ryan Friel to ground to short as a pinch hitter, and then got Soriano to hit a ground ball to third base. You may have noticed the opponent's batting average of only 111 in limited time for the right-hander.
Way off the plate inside. 3-0. Hey, podcast fans, we know there are a lot of them out there. Bob and I will be recording a new podcast after today's game. It'll be up for viewing soon. Download it on WGNTV.com. Go there, click on the sports header, look for the link, click, download, and of course, enjoy. We're smiling in the booth just like that picture. All the time.
What's not to smile about? Cubs are about to start a big rally right here. Borderline pitch on the 3-0. That's all right. Alfonso didn't want to walk anyway. Swings in here.
Two pitchers strikes. And the count filled up 3-2. On the ground, Blum coming over. Terrio with an RBI double, plating the first run of the ball game in the third inning. Cubs would add another run on a Derek Lee double. That's all they would get in that inning. Lee then with a homer in the fifth. But the big inning today, a 4-run fourth for Houston. Be curious, Bob, to read some scouting reports from the advanced scouts in terms of Ryan Terrio at the plate. I'm sure they've changed a little bit. Now, that's more the Ryan Terrio we know as Matsui. Threw from the seat of his pants to get Ryan for the second out. Kids, don't try that at home. Normally that throw is going to be way offline, but as Matsui was kind of tripping back.
Lost his footing with his right foot, fell on his backside, still able to make the throw. Second base is really the only position you can get away with that. That short throw from the second base position, still in plenty of time to get Ryan Terrio.
Broken bat, ground ball. Blum at third. The Cubs have done nothing against their bullpen. Burdak and Arias with scoreless perfect inning, 6-3 to the 8th. Astros 6, Cubs 3. Houston trying to earn a split in this rain-shortened series. Friday's rainout, by the way, will be made up on July 30th at 1:20. That game will be right here on WGN Sports. July 30th at 1:20. We'll hit the air at 1 o'clock with the leadoff man. Well, that was a good breaking ball right there as Pence vacated. Caught the strike zone, 0-2. Much better start to this inning for Jose Escanio.
It's a knee buckler right there.
Called strike 3. Pence with 4 strikeouts. sure you join us Tuesday night. Cubs and Cardinals. Right now it's Ted Lilly and Joel Pinheiro scheduled. We know Lilly's going to start for the Cubs. Cardinals could play around with their rotation a little bit. Long bounces to first, foul. Cubs won 2 of 3 against the Cardinals the first time here at Wrigley and lost 2 of 3 in St. Louis. So season series tied at 3 apiece. Chris Sampson getting loose for the bottom of the 8th.
Scagno doing a much better job so far this inning throwing the ball in the strike zone. Has really just slowed down his delivery, slowed everything down just a little bit. Let his arm work, get out there and find that good release point where he can throw quality strikes.
That's fair. Right over first base is Scagno covering. And they get the out. Jose turned 24 on May 2nd, so a couple of weeks ago from Venezuela. Cubs got him from the Braves in December of 07 for left-hander Will Oman and infielder Omar Infante. Well, I guess became a footnote in Cubs history. Omar Infante was acquired from Detroit and traded to Atlanta and never did wear the Cubs uniform. So they say, Bob, once a Cub, always a Cub. Omar Infante was a Cub for, what, a couple weeks in the offseason. Does that count?
Probably not fair to ask him how he enjoyed his time as a member of the Cubs.
Two strikes on Rodriguez. Oh, you never did get traded, right?
No, they couldn't work a deal for me. No.
Heard stories about guys getting traded between games of a doubleheader. The team you're playing. That has to be weird.
Dress in one locker and shower in the other after the game.
It was Ray Durham last year, and I think it was against Milwaukee, right? He was told by the Giants he was going to be traded. He spent an inning or two in the dugout and then just couldn't handle it anymore. Sitting with a bunch of guys who have been his teammates for a long time, but they weren't going to be after the game. Often told story, but it's been a while since I've heard it. So if you can help me, I'd appreciate it. Joel Youngblood, he got traded, right? Didn't he have a hit in 2 different cities?
2 different cities for 2 different teams on the same day. Wow. Yeah, I was just going to look that one up. Joel was a former teammate of mine, and I vaguely remember that situation.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes, indeed.
Swung on and missed. That'll end the inning. So Scagno settled in after he gave up those 2 runs in the 7th. It's 6-3 Astros.
Let's take a look at today's AM/PM player of the game, Derek Lee, with a home run and a double in this ball game. Drove in a run with his double off the Pines out in left center field, then a home run straight down the line in left. Derek Lee, our AM/PM player of the game. Too much good stuff.
Well, Arias is going to stay in to start this inning after getting 3 ground ball outs in the 7th through just 10 pitches. He'll face Lee.
Well, I looked it up, Len.
Okay.
Joel Youngblood on August 4th, 1982, got a single in a day game right here at Wrigley Field for the New York Mets against the Cubs.
3rd hit for Lee.
Joel Youngblood was then traded after the ball game to the Montreal Expos, who had a night game in Philadelphia. He flew to Philly, got there in time for the ball game, was inserted into the lineup, and got a hit for the Expos that night.
That's pretty neat. Andy Pafko was traded from the Cubs to the Dodgers in a series here. Middle of the series, he had to find the visitors' clubhouse. Don't have to get them all back here in the 8th. You'd like to get at least one with the leadoff man on. Good to see Derek Lee bust out of it with 3 hits. And his average up in the 200s now.
We say it all the time, Len. When a guy's struggling offensively, sometimes all it takes is one good at bat where you square up a good pitch and drive it hard like Derek did with his double early in the ball game. Hopefully that'll jumpstart him.
And I don't know what big effect, if any at all, his demeanor has on the rest of the team, but I have to think it's positive in this sense. I know it's been killing him that he's been struggling this year, and he's been pretty upfront about it in the media, but I never see Derek sulking in the clubhouse. He's the same guy day in and day out. The year he hit, 46 home runs, had the best year of his life. He was the same guy, 2005. He's been hearing the boos here at home. That hasn't affected him. I really think he's a leader more by example than anything else.
That's called experience, Len. You know, Derek Lee's been on every side of this game you can possibly be on. He's had great successes. He's had some very tough stretches of his career.
They're going to get one, and that'll be Lee at second.
With time, you learn how to handle adversity a little better. You learn how to handle success a little bit better. But you're absolutely right. He sets a great example for those young players down in that clubhouse by the way he goes about his daily business and keeps his head squarely on his shoulders.
Bradley with the fielder's choice. It's Soto with 1 out. Slide step in the pitch. That one lined into center. And the tying run will come up. Gio has reached base in 13 consecutive starts. Hit by a pitch today, and that's his first hit.
A lot of room up the middle of the field. Giovanni Soto just spanks that one right back where it came from into center field. And Cecil Cooper has made his way over to home plate umpire Angel Campos. Will probably make a double switch here.
So we'll sort it out for you. I think Chris Sampson's coming in along with Jeff Keppinger. 6-3 Houston. Chris Sampson is coming on. I think this move more than anything is that Sampson throws a heavy sinker, and Cecil Cooper would like to get a ground ball. Keppinger in at third in the 9th spot, so he'll lead off the 9th. Jeff Blum is out. And ball 1 on Mike Fontenot. Each team with 7 hits. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Astros lead by 3.
As a hitter facing Sampson, you have to tell yourself one of two things: either make him get the ball up or lower your target on that baseball when you start your swing. Instead of trying to hit the middle of the baseball, try to hit the bottom part of the ball. It's going to have so much sink, you want to try to stay underneath the baseball, hit a line drive somewhere.
Sampson was originally a shortstop. And it's outside, 2-1. Didn't play from 2000 to 2002. Retired after his first pro season as a shortstop. He returned as a pitcher in 2003.
Mike looking at his bat there. As a hitter, I've been there. I know against a sinker ball pitcher, you think you're squaring it up. You think you're right on the baseball. And the 2 pitches that Mike's made contact with, he's just pounded right down into the dirt right there at home plate. He was looking for a mark on his bat to see where he hit the ball.
Brings up a 2-2 pitch. A little bit low. Full count.
I think if Mike Fontenot were swinging the bat the way he was earlier in the season, you might see the runners on the move in this situation, but probably not right here.
Not with your team down 3. And they're not running, and he hits a ground ball. Matsui to second for 1. That's it. It's Bobby Scales and the Bobby Scales fan club. Getting bigger every day.
Yes, indeed. He'll grow by leaps and bounds if he does something big right here in this at bat.
Michael Hoffpower has jumped into the on-deck circle. What's going on here? Is there a bee chasing Pudge Rodriguez or something?
There's always a reason for a delay of game when Pudge is behind the plate. I'm not sure what was going on right there.
Kick and the pitch. High chopper to first, but it must have hit Scales in the batter's box. Angel Campos made the call from behind the plate. 1-1. Astros trying to get it done without their closer, Jose Valverde. He's on the disabled list with a calf injury. Doug Brocale, Jeff Geary are also injured. So LaTroy Hawkins, who's been filling in, was not in a save spot yesterday, but in a 4-4 tie, he gave up the game-winning run in the 9th. It's a kid's game, isn't it? The 1-2. It's a barehanded play by the former catcher Matt Sinatro.
Not only the kids in the stands, but the kids on the field too. To have that youthful enthusiasm to enjoy playing this game, because you're going to have a lot of heartbreaks. So really look forward to the good times.
Two on, two down, and a 2-2 count on Scales. The next one, a rainbow to center. This is Michael Bourne, and that's the inning. And the Astros bullpen getting the job done today with 3 scoreless innings. 6-3 as we head off to the ninth. Six-3 Astros as we get into the ninth. The producer of Cubs baseball on WGN Sports is Mark Brady. Our director is Skip Ellison. Doug Stanton, our associate producer. The executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Borwald. Special thanks to our technical director Roberto Rios, stage manager Paula Skroba, our studio coordinator back at WGN Christina Ballas, and of course our entire Wrigley Field crew. Left-hander Neil Kotz facing Jeff Keppinger, who normally wears out lefties. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Keppinger 10 for 24 on the season. That's a .417 average against left-handed pitching. It's worked out to be a nice platoon for Cecil Cooper down there at third base, with Jeff Blum being the left-handed complement to Keppinger from the right side.
Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dodgers clubbed the Marlins 12-5. That's a final, as LA improved to 26-13. Diamondbacks and Braves were washed out. The Pirates scored 10 in the 7th to beat the Rockies 11-4 at PNC. Nate McLouth with his 7th home run. Phillies are up late at Washington 8-6 in the ninth. Brewers are looking strong late at St. Louis 8-2 in the eighth. San Diego got a couple in the first. Jake Peavy on the mound for them. It's 2-0 as Scales will throw late. And an error. Bobby's first miscue defensively. Well, that's how the ninth starts.
Inside out swing to protect the plate by Keppinger. Hits that little bouncer to the right side. Bobby just kind of got caught in between. That ball hit him on the heel of the glove. I'm sure he'll tell you that's a play he should make 99 times out of 100.
Matsui bats from the right side against the southpaw Kotz. Mets and Giants tonight in the Sunday night game. Mike Pelfrey and Matt Cain will battle. I was listening to some of that game yesterday on the radio. Sounded like Randy Johnson was, or it felt like he was getting squeezed by Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire. My buddy Mike Krukow on the radio said Randy Johnson is the best stare down in all of sports. I'm sure you witnessed that a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Bunted foul.
Every time somebody would try to bunt for a base hit against him, or an umpire would miss a call, or a teammate would kick a ball behind him, you got the death stare. Or a manager would take him out of the game an inning too soon.
Well, you never did that, right? You let Randy pitch as long as he wanted.
Well, that isn't necessarily true. But thank goodness the pinch hitters came through when I did pull the plug on him early. It's funny how that works. You know, you take a pitcher out after 5 innings, his spot comes up offensively and trailing by a run or two in the game, you send up that pinch hitter. If the pinch hitter comes through, drives in a big run, he ends up getting a win. He doesn't say a word about it after the ball game. But if the pinch hitter strikes out or hits into a double play and you end up losing the ball game, well then, geez, I had 2 or 3 more good innings in me. I don't know why he pulled me.
It's easy to call it after the fact. Bangs off the sidewall. It's foul. Well, A-Rod with his first new Yankee Stadium hit yesterday was a game-winning home run in extras. Johnny Damon did it today in the bottom of the 10th. 3-2 Yanks over the Twins. The Yankees win. They've won 5 straight. 1-2 pitch is low.
Sabathia has been pitching much better recently for the Yankees after getting off to a miserable start this season. Boy, Wally Fingers has really let himself go.
A pop up on the infield. Just on the outfield grass. It's Terrio. Detroit's 4 games over 500. The first place Tigers beat Oakland 11-7. We'll see the Tigers in Detroit in June. White Sox lost again in Toronto as Roy Halladay improved to 8-1. 8-2. The final in that one. The Bay still leading Cleveland 7-5. The bottom of the 8th. Looks like Kerry Wood's just getting some work in. He's pitching for the Indians. Foul tip. 1-2 on Bourne. Jason Jennings got the win in relief for the Rangers today. They shut out the Angels 3-0. Texas has rattled off 7 straight wins. They're 4.5 games up in their division, the American League West. Bourne strikes out, 2 away. Neil Cott's throwing strikes this afternoon.
It's been a while since we've seen Neil out there on the mound, but absolutely right. Pounding away at that strike zone with his fastball and his slider from our Southwest Skycam. Michael Bourne goes down on strikes.
Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. Be a pinch hitter for Cox, and then Soriano and Terrio. And there is no action in the visitors' bullpen. So Chris Sampson, who got the final 2 outs of the 8th, is going to come back and start the 9th. Wouldn't be surprised if the minute the inning starts, somebody's up there just in case. It appears to be Aaron Miles to be that leadoff pinch hitter.
Miles could go up there from the left side of the plate against Sampson, given the fact he's a switch hitter, although Miles is 1 for 5 lifetime against the Astro reliever.
Ball 4.
Reed Johnson would be another possibility, perhaps, against Sampson. He's 2 for 4 lifetime with a double.
Rookie David Patton is up just in case. See the shadows starting to creep over the field down along the third base and left field line. Long look by Cox. Now he's set. And the pitch. Got in on him, and Lee pops it up. This will be an easy play for Terrio. That ends the inning. They leave 2. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Cubs need 3 to tie, 4 to win. interesting shot. Is that the backstop? Sure is.
Yeah,
yep.
Sure looks like it.
Chris Sampson in his 108th career appearance trying to get his first career save as he deals strike one to pinch hitter Aaron Miles. Darren Erstad in for defense, sending Carlos Lee to the bench. Well, it was the Astros who erased a 4-0 ninth inning deficit yesterday, only to lose in the bottom of the ninth. They're ahead today by 3. Ground ball. It's Matsui at second base. 1 out. Brian Moeller had that one inning where it looked like he was teetering. Remember, Russ Ortiz was up. That was the third. Well, Moeller found a way to get through 5 and qualify for the win, and he's the pitcher of record at the moment. Rich Harden would take the loss if the Cubs can't come back.
Just unfortunate that Jose Escaño came into this ball game in the 7th inning and hit the first 2 batters he faced. Big difference in a game when you're trailing by 3 as opposed to trailing by 1. Cubs have a number of guys in this lineup that could tie the ball game up in a hurry. If it was a 1-run deficit, you're going to need a couple of base runners before somebody does that to tie it up now. On the flip side of the coin, the Astros bullpen has put up zeros since Moeller left the ball game.
High fly ball, and it will go for Soriano. 6-4, just what you were talking about, even though probably wouldn't have gotten the same pitch in a 1-run game. That's his 12th. Second homer of the day for the Cubs.
Everybody remembers the leadoff home runs, 53 of them in his career, but this season Alfonso Soriano has been deadly late in ball games as well. Our Southwest How Far Did It Fly? 384.
Tejada able to catch it, and Terrio is out. Now Tejada threw over to Berkman, who wasn't even looking when the throw was made. He did locate the ball and stepped down first just in case, but that ball was caught by the shortstop. 2 outs.
Now you'll clearly see Tejada gets his glove underneath this sinking line drive, catches it right there, goes to a knee, holds it up, but just to make sure, he's going to toss it across the infield.
If Kosuke can find a way to get on base, it'll bring up Derek Lee as the tying run, and Derek with a hit in his last 3 at bats. Double, a homer, and a single. And we have not seen anybody up in the Astros pen, so this is Chris Sampson's game right now. The pitch, 3-0. You never know.
Borderline at best. See a lot of umpires call that 3-0 pitch if it's remotely close to the strike zone. Little comeback sinker. Might have caught the inside corner.
Tejada ranging, and he dropped it. Would not have had Fukudome, I'm pretty sure of that, even if he did come up with it cleanly. And it will bring up Derek Lee. It's a hit for Fukudome. Still a chance.
Well, the way Kosuke gets down that line, I'm not sure Tejada would have had a play on him. He was going to try to do that reverse pivot, throw on to first base, but couldn't hang on. Derek Lee 4 for 12 lifetime against Sampson with a home run and a double. Been swinging the hot bat today.
For Houston. The kick and the pitch to Lee, a ground ball foul up along third. Obviously Kosuke wants to stay out of a force play at second base, try to keep the game alive, but he's not going to stray too far off the bag because his run doesn't matter. Workman playing behind him. 0-2. Cubs are down to their final strike. Here it is. Base hit into center. Fukudome holding at second. Now Milton Bradley coming up. Tying runs are on base. Winning run at the plate. A 4-hit day for Lee.
Sampson and Pudge Rodriguez just trying to stay away from Derek Lee in that at bat, but pitchers do make mistakes. Derek had a good rip at the 0-1 pitch, fouled it off. The 0-2 pitch caught too much plate, and he drove it right back up the middle of the field.
First 4-hit game of the year for Lee. One and one. Still nobody up in the Astros pen. Sampson again trying to notch his first career save. The pitch, base hit left field. Fukudome held at third, and again, well, now he's going to go. His run really didn't matter. It's a one-run game. The key guy is Derek Lee at third. As Erstad's throw came into the cutoff man Tejada, and Kosuke decided to score, and Bradley get an RBI out of it. So it's 6-5.
It looked like Mike Quade was holding Fukudome initially, and then Erstad mishandled the ball just a little bit out there in left field, and Mike started windmilling that left arm, and Kosuke only then charged down the third baseline and scored easily still. See that ball gets out there in left field. Quade's holding him up and then changes his mind when he sees Erstad concede the run. Basically, that was it. I thought Erstad maybe dropped the ball, but he just picked it up and lobbed it back into the cutoff man, conceding Fukudome's run.
And I think Erstad's thought is, doesn't matter. Just keep Derek Lee at least at second. Don't allow him to get to third where a wild one could tie it up. Here's Soto. 2 runs in to make it 6-5. They're on their feet here at Wrigley Field. 40,478. Here we go. Ball 1.
So far in this inning, Sampson and Pudge Rodriguez have been content to throw sinkers away from every hitter. First pitch to Giovanni Soto was intended to be off the plate away. He missed down low. Going to come back here with another sinker away, I believe. And now there's some confusion. And once again, Pudge will make his way out to the mound. Yeah, we played in Arizona earlier this year. They had that dirt path between home plate and the mound. If Astros were going to be here much longer, we would have a dirt path between home and the mound.
Three straight hits after 2 are out. The 1-0 is a strike. Sampson's 2-1. Big swing, and he bounced it over Mike Quaddy down at third. Well, you know, give this offense credit. Sampson hasn't thrown a lollipop up there to, you know, in a happy zone to end the game. And if he's giving them hittable sinkers, they've decided to roll him into the outfield, just keep the line moving. And now it's 2-2 on Soto. The next pitch. Good take, 3-2, and now Leal almost certainly will score because he'll get a head start. So on a single, this will be a tie game. The runners go on a 3-2 pitch, pulled right at the third baseman, Keppinger, and the Astros hang on by their fingernails today as Chris Sampson gets his first career save. Soto hit it hard, but right at Keppinger.
Boy, that's too bad. Great at bat by everybody that hit in that ninth inning, but Giovanni Soto ran the count to full, was going to have the runners in motion. Ball gets past Keppinger down in that corner. Cubs probably win this ball game, but unfortunately hit it right at the Astros third baseman. Just a bullet off the bat of Giovanni Soto, right to Keppinger in his tracks.
So the Cubs made it interesting in the ninth. They had the tying run in scoring position, the winning run on base. But Sampson notches his first career save. The final today, the Astros 6, the